What fuels the unmatched power of the U.S. Navy? Well, its weapons are crafted in the crucible of innovation, built by the brightest minds in the world, and tested to push the limits of destruction and precision. Every missile, torpedo, and system is forged with one goal in mind: superiority. This is a world where cutting-edge technology meets relentless ambition, and nothing is left to chance. This is the story of where those weapons come from and the forces behind their creation. From its earliest days, the Navy recognized that staying ahead required collaboration with the best minds and the most capable hands, both within and beyond its own ranks. These partnerships with private industry didn't happen overnight. They grew out of necessity, forged during moments of crisis, and shaped by the relentless march of technology. The seeds of this collaboration were planted in the nation's early years. During the War of 1812, the Navy relied on local blacksmiths, foundries, and even small shipyards to produce the cannons, ammunition, and other armaments that it needed. But this decentralized approach revealed glaring weaknesses. Production was inconsistent, supply chains were unreliable, and quality was always uneven. Well, as the Navy grew and America industrialized, it became clear that a more structured system was necessary. The Civil War was a turning point. The emergence of ironclad ships and rifled cannons required industrial capacity that no single shipyard or arsenal could manage alone. Private companies like Tredegar Iron Works stepped in, providing the Navy with advanced artillery and armor. By World War I, industrial plants like Bethlehem Steel and General Electric were supplying the Navy with torpedoes, naval guns, and propulsion systems. These partnerships became the beginning of the Navy's reliance on private industry to meet its growing technological needs. And then World War II solidified these partnerships. The war effort demanded unprecedented production. Private companies became integral to the Navy's operations, building everything from torpedoes and aircraft to the early radar systems that would change the face of naval warfare. Firms like Grumman Aircraft, which later became part of Northrop Grumman, rose to prominence by supplying the Navy with carrier-based fighters that proved essential in key battles. This collaboration laid the groundwork for the post-war defense industrial base, where specialized contractors would dominate weapon development for decades to come. In the years following World War II, the Navy cemented its alliances with powerhouses like Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and Northrop Grumman, forging partnerships that revolutionized naval innovation and solidified America's dominance on the seas. So Raytheon became synonymous with precision weaponry. The Tomahawk cruise missile, one of its most iconic creations, exemplifies the company's ability to blend innovation with reliability. Lockheed Martin emerged as a leader in aviation and missile technology, producing both the F-35C Lightning II and the Triton II D-5 submarine-launched ballistic missile. Boeing's expertise in aerospace also extended weapons like the Harpoon anti-ship missile, which has been a cornerstone of naval surface warfare for decades. These companies didn't earn their contracts by chance. They invested heavily in research, engineering, and production capabilities, demonstrating their ability to deliver cutting-edge systems that met the Navy's exacting standards. Over time, they became trusted partners, responsible for designing the tools that define modern naval warfare today. But while private contractors are the Navy's lifeline, the spark of innovation often ignites within the government's own research hubs. The Office of Naval Research and the Naval Surface Warfare Centers are where bold ideas are born. Here, scientists and engineers experiment with technologies that could change the face of warfare. The Office of Naval Research, for instance, has been pioneering hypersonic missiles, sleek, sexy, terrifying weapons that travel faster than 5 times the speed of sound. Just imagine a missile so fast that it outruns its own shockwave, making countermeasures nearly impossible. Once they've been tested and perfected, these weapons would move to private contractors for mass production and refinement. And one of my favorite? Laser weapons. Once the stuff of science fiction are also slowly becoming a reality. Ship-mounted lasers capable of neutralizing drones and missiles at the speed of light are being tested and fine-tuned in these very same labs. So what starts as a sketch on a whiteboard in a government lab often ends up as a game-changing weapon in the Navy's arsenal. But how does a weapon go from an idea to the deck of an actual warship? Well, that all starts with the Navy identifying its needs. Over time, threats evolve, and so do the tools required to counter them. Military analysts scrutinize the global landscape, pinpointing gaps in capability and anticipating the tactics of future adversaries. These needs are translated into requests for proposals, which are sent out to defense contractors who compete for the opportunity to bring their designs to life. The stakes here are enormous, and the competition is incredibly fierce. Honestly, a single contract can and has defined an entire company's legacy. But here's the cool part. Once a proposal has been selected, the real work begins. Missiles are fired under extreme conditions, aircraft are flown through combat simulations, and every weapon is pushed to its limits. Only after surviving these trials can a weapon earn its place in the Navy's arsenal. And yet, supplying weapons to the Navy isn't really as simple as assembling parts on a production line. It's kind of a battle of its own against time, complexity, and ever-changing threats. Advanced systems require rare materials and specialized components. Creating supply chains is also as intricate as the weapons themselves. Disruptions anywhere in this chain can bring projects to a grinding halt. Then there's also the cost. Programs like the F-35 often exceed their original budgets, not because of carelessness, but because they're venturing into uncharted territory. Creating weapons that push the boundaries of what's possible is never cheap or easy. And just when a weapon's perfected, the rules of the game change. Cyber threats demand new layers of protection, and adversaries develop countermeasures. It's a constant rat race, and the Navy can't afford to lose. Behind the power of the U.S. Navy is a global network that fuels its most advanced weapons. While American innovation leads the charge, creating missiles, torpedoes, and defense systems requires way more than what domestic resources can supply. We're talking rare earth elements, which are essential for advanced electronics and precision-guided systems, are often sourced from countries like Australia, where they're mined and refined to fuel the cutting-edge weapons engineered by U.S. defense contractors. The crazy thing is that the Navy's reach doesn't stop there. Through strategic alliances with trusted allies, it taps into a broader pool of expertise. Programs like the F-35 fighter involve contributions from partners like the UK and Italy, where specific components are developed and assembled to ensure peak performance. These collaborations not only push the limits of innovation, but also ensure seamless compatibility with allied forces during joint operations. While the heart of the Navy's arsenal is built on American soil by industry giants like Lockheed Martin and Raytheon, the global supply chain adds another layer of ingenuity. From microchips crafted overseas to specialized sensors perfected in partner nations, every element plays a role in crafting weapons designed to dominate the seas and the skies. This intricate web of international resource and collaboration is what helps arm the most dangerous naval force on Earth. But what lies ahead for the Navy's arsenal? Well, the future is being written in labs and factories right now. Hypersonic missiles are set to revolutionize warfare, traveling so fast that even the most advanced defenses won't have time to react. Directed energy weapons like ship-mounted lasers promise to provide cost-effective defenses that can neutralize threats at the speed of light. And autonomous systems are another frontier. Just imagine swarms of underwater drones patrolling hostile waters, or AI-driven targeting systems that react faster than any human. These aren't just ideas at this point. They're prototypes being tested and refined as we speak. The Navy's also partnering with tech startups to explore artificial intelligence and machine learning, creating smarter weapons and more precise surveillance tools. The future of naval warfare has gone beyond bigger weapons and more guns. Now it's all about smarter ones. The U.S. Navy's weapons are the result of relentless innovation, unmatched expertise, and a drive for absolute power. And behind every missile and system is a network of visionaries ensuring that the Navy remains an unstoppable force. This is how the Navy secures its place as the ultimate power on the seas.